Hello! So sorry for the delay. The holiday was crazy, but I am finally getting you the next stitch, actually 2 stitches in this tutorial for the Scrappy Sweater Crochet Along. So the first stitch we are going to be doing, get you up close here, is going to be the iris stitch. So that's what you see in red for me. And then the second stitch is going to be the V stitch. And then I do one more round that kind of flattens it all out so that we're prepped for the next stitch in the tutorial. So again, here's what it's looking like, but let's get into the tutorial. So as per usual, we are just going to be tying in the underarm section of our body. So that's what you see me doing here. And then we're going to pull loop through and chain 1, 2. And that's going to serve as a double crochet when we get around to the joint. But then we're going to skip 3 stitches, and in the 4th stitch, we are going to do this following pattern. So double crochet, chain 1, and then 2 more double crochets. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and that creates our iris. And that's pretty much it for this first round. We are going to repeat by skipping 3 stitches, and in the 4th stitch, repeat the same pattern. So 2 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, followed by a chain 1, and then another 2 double crochets. So there you see we have 2 irises now. So I'm going to go through it one more time. So skip 3, and in the 4th stitch, do our iris stitch, which is 2 double crochets. I am struggling. So 2 double crochets, followed by a chain 1 and another 2 double crochets. So you're going to repeat this around, skipping 3 between each set of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. So I'm going to repeat this around, and I'll meet you at the join and talk about options if you don't have the perfect multiple. So here we are. I have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip 3 like I would initially and still do my usual iris stitch because it's kind of in the middle. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And then since I only have 2 stitches, instead of doing a full iris to do my join, I'm just going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and then join with that initial chain 2 for the second double crochet. So it's like a mini iris. This is in the underarm section, so it's okay if it's not perfect. So just do what you can to make it line up. So here's what that round around the body looks like finished, and a little bit of a close-up on it. I don't have enough red left to do more than 1 round of this, so that's why I'm going to introduce another stitch, but make sure to repeat the same pattern around the arm sleeves. If you need any timestamps, here they are for the iris stitch. So let's just make sure to cut and secure this end, and then we're going to go into round 2. You will see that I'm doing a color change. That's completely up to you if you want to stay the same or do a color change. Be sure to tie in the space between irises, and then you're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and that's going to serve as a double crochet plus a chain 1, and then into that same space between the irises you're going to do another double crochet, and that's going to create our first V stitch. And we are going to be doing the V stitch in each of the spaces between irises. So that's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. and we're going to repeat that around. Again, this is in the spaces between the irises. So not the chain 1 space in the middle of the iris, but the spaces between the irises. We're doing the V-stitch, which is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and we are going to repeat that around. So that's what you see me doing here. If you have any questions so far, please be sure to drop them below. I am pretty responsive, but here's what it looks like with that V-stitch. And we are going to repeat this all the way around our body. I'll meet you at the join. So again, we're coming up to that spot in my underarm that I did a little bit of a different stitch versus the iris, but we are still just going to keep the same, and in the space between do our V-stitch, which is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, just because it's going to keep our stitch count the same. And then to join, we're just going to insert into that initial chain 3 space and do a slip stitch. Now we are into round 3. I'm keeping the same color and starting with a chain 1, and then we are going to do a spike stitch into that chain 1 space from the iris. So a spike stitch is basically a single crochet, but you want to make sure to pull it up to the height. And then in the middle of the V-stitch, we're going to do just a single crochet. So 2 spike stitches in the center of the iris, and then in the center of the V-stitch, a single crochet. So spike stitch, making sure to pull up to the height of the 3rd round, 2 in the center of the iris, and then single crochet in the center of the V-stitch. So that's what we're going to repeat around for the 3rd round. If you need any timestamps for this tutorial so far, here they are below, but we're going to repeat this pattern for the 3rd round all the way around, and I will meet you at the join for round 3. So joining round 3, we're just finishing the same pattern. So I'm at that kind of smaller iris right here. I'm still going to do 2 spike stitches in the chain 1 space, and then repeat my single crochet in the middle of the V-stitch from round 2. Be sure not to miss that last iris stitch in doing 2 spike stitches in it, because I almost did. So last 2 spike stitches in the center of the iris, and then to join, we're going to slip stitch into that initial chain 1 from the beginning of the round. And then we're going to cut and secure our end, and that is the end of this tutorial. Here's what it looks like finished, and if you need any timestamps, here they are, but let's look and see what it looks like on. So here's where we're at with it on now. I have like a shorter torso, so I'm getting there with my length. I haven't decided like where I want it to end up laying, probably close to like right here. And then I'll do ribbing on the bottom to taper it. And like I've said in previous videos, obviously arms, we're gonna need to repeat stitches in order to get the length you want on your arms. Again, as per usual, if you have any questions, be sure to drop them below. If you have any stitches you'd like to do, drop them below. And if you are looking to like speed along and get finished with the sweater sooner rather than later, all of these tutorials are on my channel, so you can repeat any of these stitches and get your sweater done sooner rather than later. But I'm gonna try and get back to doing 1 stitch, if not 2 stitches a week, just so we can get this finished before spring hits. But yeah, thanks for following along, and I hope everybody had a lovely holiday and Happy New Year.